Hello, good morning, and welcome to another exciting episode of A Landy Called Noel. Today, I'm doing valve clearances. It's maybe slightly out of line with the way the restoration's going, but it's been on my mind not to forget to do them. I have had Noel running, and he was a little tappety, and I wanted to do the valve clearances before I pull the engine out. And we're getting pretty close to pulling the engine out, so hence doing the valve clearances or the tappets, whatever way you want to describe it. So it's quite, I thought I'd do this video just to go through it with you. I've taken all the plugs out, as you can see, and you can see the rocker covers off, and you can see the push rods and the rocker gear. So with Noel and old Land Rovers, they've got a starting handle, so you can use the starting handle to turn the engine over to open and close the valves in the right order that you want. There are other ways you can go about doing this. You can put the car in gear, rock it back and forth, or you can physically grab the fan blade or the pulley and turn the engine over by hand. I think the starting handle is going to be a much easier way to do it. So here we go. What else was I going to say? Yes, it's the rule of 9. I'm sure most of you, if not all of you, would have heard about this rule of 9. Now, what I do is I literally write it down, tap it open, check and adjust, and I make a note of them. As you can see, I've already started, so I've got valve number 1 is fully open, and you check and adjust number 8. So the rule of 9 is 1 and 8 equal 9, and as long as every one that you do equals 9, you can't go wrong. So I'll just put that up there so that you can keep a track on which one you've done as you go along. So we've done 1 and 8, or we've done 8 with 1 open, should I say. So I'm going to turn the engine over by hand. Oh, now just something was just touching there. Oh, it's this. There we go. That's out of the way. Right, now, so basically I'm watching. Right, now number 2 is going down. Oh, and it's gone too far. I've just gone a little bit too far. So we'll just move on to the next one. It's actually so easy to turn over with the plugs out. So I've got number 6 right there. Number 6 is all the way down. I turned it a tiny bit and it didn't move. So number 6 all the way down. So we check and adjust number 3. 3 and 6 make 9. That's how the rule of 9 works. It's 10 thou, because it says on the rocker cover, so you don't need any other information. It's 10 thou on both of the inlet and exhaust. Cold or hot, which is kind of weird actually. It says on the rocker cover. You would have thought hot would be different, but I prefer to do mine cold. So ring spanner is always best, so you don't slip off, because these can be a little bit tight sometimes. So half-inch ring spanner, and this one is a bit tight. And we just slacken off this lock nut with a screwdriver into the adjuster, and you just keep the gauge moving in the gap until it just pinches. They are fiddly. Now, right, so that's too tight. It's really pinching. I can move the feeler gauge, but it is really pinching. So we're just going to back that off a smidge. That's probably a smidge too much. Let's have a feel of that. Not quite happy. That's good there. I can still move the feeler gauge, but I can feel it also grabbing. So the idea now is to do up the lock nut without moving the adjuster. That's the hard bit. It's not bad, it has moved a tiny bit. So you can, for me, you can spend a long time getting this cock on. Yeah, right there, I like it there, but it's tightening. Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. Right, so that's 6 down, 3 done. So we need to mark that off on the list here. So open number 6, check and adjust number 3. We'll do a couple. I'm not going to do the whole video with you watching because it will take far too long, but just going to give you an idea of doing these valve clearances, because you want your engine to run nice and smoothly. So as we go round now, I've got number 4 going down, and it is down all the way because I've just moved it past and it didn't move. So 4 is down. We could write that down now, couldn't we? So open number 4. So check and adjust number 5. 5 and 4 make 9, ruler 9. So 5's right next to 4, checking for the rock. And they're all going to be, well, that's certainly slack. I have got a sneaking suspicion that the previous owner really didn't do that much in way of looking after this mechanically, and I'll tell you why, because he hadn't actually done that many miles. It's only, Jesus, this one's tight. Wow, there we go. Oh, something moved then. It was the starting handle. Yeah, Noel's only got 81,000 miles on his odometer, and which is a genuine mileage. I'm pretty sure when I owned Noel back in 2005, he had something like 77,000 on him. So Peter only did, what, 4,000 miles. So you probably, in that kind of mileage, you might not have even have changed the oil. You should be changing the oil every year regardless of mileage, because the oil breaks down in the sump anyway. Right, now that is lovely on the gripping the feeler gauge. So if we can just nip this up. Recheck. Do you know what? It's actually gone a little bit tight there, interestingly enough. Yeah, that's nice. I like that. Right, we'll do another one. The starting handle just fell out of the boss on the front pulley, so we just put him back in there. I don't know how many of you guys have tried to start your Land Rover on a starting handle. Best start on a starting handle, no problem, because the engine's quite knackered and there's very little compression. But I did try and start Noel, and he was really hard to turn over. Right, so we've got 5 going down, 5 down. How we mark that? 5, check and adjust 4. Yeah, so there's a pretty much. Actual fact, 4 is too tight. There is a bit of rock in him, but I can't get the feeler gauge in. Okay, that's, wasn't expecting that. We're going to open him up. Right, now the gauge is in. Alright, that feels good just there. I'll move the screwdriver slightly, just gripping the gauge. Just nip that up. Yeah, that's good. So we'll definitely check that that's tightened. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Nice. Should we do one more? What do you think? You got time to watch one more? I don't want to, you know, keep you from your busy schedule of doing whatever you're doing. Right, and what's going down? Right, number 8 is going down at the back of the engine. Oh, he's gone. I've just gone past, so we'll just have to do another revolution because I've cocked that up a bit. Right, 7 is on its way. So, yeah, so you've got to watch as you rotate the engine for the valve to go all the way down and stop. If it starts coming back up again, you've gone too far. You just move on to the next one and come back to that one. So 7 is open. We check and adjust 2. Let's have a look at number 2. Yeah, so he was a little bit tappety, Noel. Yeah, 2's a bit on the slack side. So I'm kind of hoping, I don't want to do major engine work on him, to be honest. I'm hoping that we'll just be able to get away with doing this. We've already given him an oil change, but we'll probably give him another oil change. And, you know, just a thorough service. And then actually get some use out of him before we decide that there isn't enough power, which we're bound to think that. I have that problem with my MGB GT. I love driving it, but it's just not quick enough. Now this one needed a fair amount. Right, just there is good. It's just gripping the feeler gauge just nicely there. Yeah, that's nice. Sweet. That's 2 and 7 done. Right, well, I'm going to carry on doing these valve clearances, but I'll wrap the video up here, and hopefully, I'll just bounce that there. Hopefully, that's helpful to somebody, or shows anyway that we can do other things apart from welding. Oh, blimey, it's 13 minutes long. Goodness, I bet you're all asleep by now. Anyway, I'll see you on the next one. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.